then as Kingstown was busy with troops leaving for the battlefields of France. The First World War was raging, and many of those who left would never see home again. In the madness of war, however, on Christmas Day, a very special event took place. And last Saturday, a group of people from north and south travelled to Belgium to commemorate this event. Our reporter, Damien Tiernan, has the story.
Tears, emotions, songs. Years ago, on this soil, men killed and were killed. Today, an impromptu song from Irish men and women, rising from the graveyards, life-affirming, drifting across Flanders fields where once deadly chlorine gas choked so many. Men from both sides buried here, at the graves of a dozen Germans. Silent Night is sung in German. And then, two special headstones, Irish people north and south together remembering. Private Delaney died on Christmas Eve 1914. Beside him, his colleague, Private Murphy, died a few days after Christmas. The space in between them signifying the miracle that was the Christmas Truce. The peace truce lasted a few days. Men heard Silent Night and carols from the other side. They climbed out of trenches such as these, met, played football, shared rations, a true celebration of Christmas. The high-ranking generals didn't like it. War would resume.
I think we're all numb by the experience, to be honest. It's a huge honour. Something happened when we visited the graves. It was like as if our lives touched, connected in some way with what happened 100 years ago. To look at a grave of young Irishmen that died out here 100 years ago this Christmas, and to sing Silent Night as they would have done 100 years ago. To see one grave on Christmas Eve and then one grave 3 days later and know that in between was the Christmas peace truce. It's like as if we're sort of entwined with history in a unique way. I feel very privileged to have the group of people from around Ireland to share that sound with and to share this experience with.
The Island of Ireland Peace Choir is in many ways an amazing creation. Formed after the Omagh bomb in 1998. Students from Waterford originally linking up with students from Omagh. The Waterford Omagh Peace Choir now expanded to include members from Belfast, London, Dublin, Gorey, Tullow, Omagh and Waterford, and renamed as the Island of Ireland Peace Choir. 32 singers and 4 musicians. An infinite amount of hope, joy and life-affirming music. You've played music with other groups and other things. Is there something...
There's something really special about the Peace Choir. It's just an atmosphere. Everyone in the audience feels it as well.
Of the Christmas Truce and Flanders Peacefield project, a driving force behind this trip.
This is a very special memorial. In the early days of the war, many of the soldiers didn't have proper identification. Many in the course were obliterated into oblivion. and when it came to burying them, they had no idea who they were. So in this region alone, it's estimated there are 100,000 graves of soldiers who are buried in unknown graves.
This journey into the past took place last weekend. The group visiting Mazine, a quiet little village with more than 1,000 years of history. Locals want to make it a beacon of peace.
In lost years, lost history, lost centuries, this place was mostly a place of war. Now we will make it a place of peace.
And as a gift, the choir sang. And then down into the crypt, which during World War I became a makeshift hospital for the Germans, including one Adolf Hitler, who spent 2 weeks here recuperating after being injured. The island of Ireland Peace Park, where each choir member had brought a stone from Ireland. Holly Ryan led the singing.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Don Mullen called for Irish politicians north and south to come here.
I think, therefore, the little ceremony of laying the stones for the mayor's peace garden is very symbolic. Where today we called upon the politicians back home to lay down the stones. We've got to put the troubles behind us.
We've learned so much about these people from Northern Ireland. I mean, you can travel to the ends of the earth and find out all different cultures and never meet people on your doorstep, and this is a great opportunity to do that.
I cannot express how different this choir is, but this choir, there is something very beautiful about it, and it's definitely down to Phil, what Phil does, but he creates an atmosphere and an excitement and a sound that is totally unique.
For me, being involved in the choir, it's always about the music and it's always about the singing, so coming back here this evening to this venue to prepare and to rehearse the songs is the part that I always really enjoy.
That evening, at St. Nicholas's Church, an amazing concert, which will be replicated in Christchurch in Dublin this Sunday, an event not to be missed. Cooperation Ireland helped fund this trip. Next week, 100 years ago, something timeless spilled out onto the battlefields.